Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
You're watching South Asia NEWSLINE and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 7th of February. PM Modi sets 400 plus poll target, slams Congress in Rajya Sabha. First time Pakistan voters skeptical about election outcome. And Sri Lanka targets debt restructuring framework in first 6 months of 2024. And now for all the details. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday once again exuded confidence about winning a thumping majority in the upcoming elections. Speaking during the motion of thanks on President's speech in Rajya Sabha, PM Modi predicted his BJP will win at least 370 seats while the ruling alliance will cross 400 mark. His speech included hard-hitting comments on opposition Congress party leaders. He said the Congress had promoted a colonial mindset even after independence. The Prime Minister underlined the achievements of his government, saying that it had successfully taken India as the top 5th economy from the fragile 5. Opposition parties led by Congress last year formed the India Alliance to jointly fight the BJP in national elections. But it has been marred by differences over giving up seats to field a common candidate. Moving on, India is expected to be the largest driver of global oil demand growth by 2030. Narrowly taking the lead from top importer China, the International Energy Agency said on Wednesday in a report at the India Energy Week in Goa. The agency forecast India's demand would reach 6.6 million barrels per day in 2030, up from 5.5 million in 2023. The single largest basis of India's oil consumption will be diesel fuel, the agency said. New electric vehicles and energy efficiency improvements in India will avoid 480,000 BPD of extra oil demand from now to 2030, it added. Earlier on Tuesday, PM Modi said a large part of India's capital expenditure in the next financial year will be spent on energy security. He underscored India's primary energy demand is estimated to double by 2045. And around 22 million youths aged between 18 and 23 are gearing up to vote for the first time as Pakistan goes to the polls on Thursday. But the elation that should be around seems to be missing. Most first-time voters seem disillusioned about the election outcome and what change it could bring for them. With reports of widespread rigging and manipulation of voters surrounding every election, there are also deep misgivings about the fairness of the entire electoral process, which keeps young voters away.
हाँ, नई हुकूमत का भी चोर डाकू ही आएंगे दोबारा से, ठीक है, अपनी जेबें भरेंगे, बस यही कर सकते हैं वो। आवाम के लिए फ़ायदा नहीं, नौजवानों के लिए फ़ायदा नहीं, ना नौकरियां देते हैं, सिर्फ लारे पे रखते हैं।
Former PM Nawaz Sharif is being considered the front-runner by analysts, while another ex-PM Imran Khan is jailed over corruption charges. The eventual winner will, however, face the task of reviving a struggling $350 billion economy grappling with historic inflation and unstable rupee currency.
महंगाई तो एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी है, कोई बंदा नहीं, कोई 25,000 सैलरी है किसी बंदे की, तो वो बंदा यानी कि ये देखे ना, अब कोई चीज़ खरीद रहा है मंथली उसका इनकम जो सी है वो 50,000 अबव है, ठीक है, और 25,000 जो सी है उसकी यानी कि घर का राशन आता है, ठीक है, 25,000 बच्चों के स्कूल की फ़ीसें, बाकी ये वो चीज़ें, एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी बिल, गैस के बिल, बिजली के बिल और बहुत चीज़ें ऐसी हैं कि बंदा अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकता। जो 25,000 इनकम सैलरी ले रहा है उसे समझ से बाहर है कि कैसे कंट्रोल करना है घर को।
Moving on, there has been growing unrest in Gilgit-Baltistan with locals upset over wheat crisis, prolonged power cuts and crumbling infrastructure. A report.
Crumbling infrastructure has continued to afflict the lives of locals in Gilgit-Baltistan, with residents upset over hours of load shedding, inflation, wheat shortage, absence of proper education and healthcare facilities. There have been a series of protests in recent days, but authorities have continued to ignore their demands and their patience has given way now, with no hope of development in the near future.
एक तरफ बिजली की बदतरीन लोड शेडिंग है, फिर आटे की अदम दस्तयाबी है, महंगाई है, और फिर यहाँ पे बुनियादी जो तालीमी स्ट्रक्चर है वो भी ना होने के बराबर है। हमारे पास इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज नहीं है, हमारे पास टेक्निकल कॉलेज नहीं है, यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं है, एक वाहिद यूनिवर्सिटी है। यहाँ पे ख़वातीन की अलग यूनिवर्सिटी का मुतालबा किया जा रहा है, और इसी तरह दीगर जो हमारे मामलात हैं, हस्पतालों की हालत जो है वो गैर हो चुकी है।
People of Gilgit-Baltistan have been waiting for years now for a better administration that would work for their development. However, corruption and ignorance have become major challenges, leaving the region's future in dark.
Moving on, Sri Lanka expects to implement a debt restructuring framework within the first 6 months of 2024. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said on Wednesday, expressing confidence that the nation was recovering from the worst financial crisis in decades. Addressing the parliament, Wickremesinghe said the island nation was aiming to grow its GDP by up to 3% this year. The recovery path will not be easy, he added. Sri Lanka defaulted on its overseas debt in May 2022 and has since made progress on about $11 billion of bilateral debt restructuring. A $2.9 billion IMF bailout in March last year helped temper skyrocketing inflation, improved state revenue and boosted foreign exchange reserves. And Himalayan black bears housed in the Dachigam National Park in India's Jammu and Kashmir were fed with a special high-energy diet on Tuesday to ensure their healthy hibernation. During the harsh winters, the metabolism of carnivorous mammals slows down and they tend to become sluggish. Conservationists from NGO Wildlife SOS fed the bears porridge consisting of eggs, jaggery, dry fruits, apples and roti coated with honey.
विंटर्स में हम इनको एनर्जी रिच डाइट देते हैं, जिसमें खजूर, देन जो दलिया है या जैगरी है या हनी है या फ्रूट्स हैं, तो उनका इंटेक जो हम थोड़ा सा इंक्रीज़ कर देते हैं ताकि इनका न्यूट्रिएंट लेवल जो है वो मेंटेन रहे, इनको एनर्जी मिलती है.
A lack of flora and fauna in the national park after snowfall makes it challenging for the animals to find food. Conservationists and forest officials every year make special arrangements. Dachigam is also home to endangered musk deer, leopard cat, hill fox and the Himalayan weasel.
क्लाइमेट चेंज की वजह से इनका जो तब्दील हो चुका है, पूरा का पूरा जो इनका फूड बिहेवियर, उस पर भी असर पड़ चुका है. तो अब जो हमारे कैप्टिविटी में ब्लैक बियर्स है, इनकी देखभाल हमें बहुत ही होशियारी से करनी पड़ती है ताकि इनमें कुछ ऐसा ना हो, इनमें कुछ वो वीकनेस ना आ जाए जिसकी वजह से इनके सेहत पे असर पड़े.
That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.
Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.